Good afternoon, Guy. It's very nice to see you again.
Good afternoon, nice to have you.
And as you know, my name is Silu, and we've met before when you so kindly talked to me about your involvement in the Bristol bus boycott.
Yeah.
So today I'm here for another reason, because when I was with you about the bus boycott and with Joyce, who you know, Joyce Morris Wisdom, I was very aware that you were facing racism not only in employment but in housing.
That's right.
And so I thought, if you didn't mind, for letting everybody know at our history festival where we're talking about housing, I thought it would be a good idea to hear from you about your memories and experiences. Because you were one of the first people to set up the United Housing Association, that I understand was the first black housing association in Bristol. But I want to take you back before that, if I may, and ask you about where did you live and how did you find your accommodation when you first came to Bristol as a teenager?
Yeah, I came to Bristol as a teenager. I was only just about 16 years old when I came to Bristol. I came to live with my auntie.
Right. Where did she live?
And my brother, who lives in St. Paul's.
Right.
Campbell Street and City Road.
Aha. So you lived with your auntie first, and then you went to live with your eldest brother?
Yeah.
Right. And when you were living with them, especially when you were living with your brother, was he also working in Bristol?
My brother was working in Plymouth at the time. He was employed as a demolition worker to repair and clean up the city.
Oh, because of course
it was badly
bombed, wasn't it?
After the war.
Yes, it was badly bombed.
Although he lives in Bristol, he was working in Plymouth. And he comes home on the weekend.
I see. And were you sharing a house with just your eldest brother, or were there other people in the house?
In the house that I was living in, it was on City Road.
Mm-hmm.
These houses are very large. They've got basement, ground floor.
And so you were sharing with people on the ground floor. You got a room?
I got a room next to my brother's room.
Right.
On the ground floor.
Ah. So you had to share cooking facilities and things like that?
Each floor had a cooking facility for the people who live on that floor.
At that point, were there black people who owned houses then, or?
At that time, I could only think of two black persons that owns a house on City Road and Gwen Street, which is just off City Road.
I see.
And if you were black and you come to Bristol, those were the people you were likely to get a room to rent.
Right. You were able to rent from them a room.
Yeah.
I see. And they must have had to save up quite a lot of money though to get the house.
£150 in those days were like £2,000. And each house had tenants.
I see. So they bought the house and then they were able to rent out to tenants.
Yeah, because the houses in those days were very cheap.
In that area of Bristol.
In £250 is like £200,000.
Yes, it's a lot more now, as you said, exactly. So, but my understanding, Guy, was that the banks weren't very good about lending money to black people.
The bank that people used to use used to be an old market, Lloyd's Bank.
Right.
They were the first bank that allowed people to buy a house from a mortgage point of view. But all the other banks were very racist.
And I guess they gave all sorts of reasons, like, maybe you hadn't been in the Bristol long enough, or they were giving excuses to why they wouldn't loan you the money.
That's right. There was always an excuse that they would give you for not lending. Is that they didn't think you were able to pay. So therefore they wouldn't allow you to have a loan. Or a mortgage. All the black people get together, work and save, and use a system that they call partners.
Right.
And
so tell me a little bit about that.
The partners used to be as many people as possible to get a sum of money together. And if you put into that partner X amount, when it's your turn, you get a full amount. And you get enough money that you can use to buy a house cash.
So that was good. That was a good way. But you must have had to trust each other.
Yeah. The partner has a banker, and the banker was a trusted person. And if you the banker would make sure that each individual that pay into the partner get their full return each time it was their turn. Yeah.
I see.
So it was like an unofficial bank.
But a bank you could trust. Because, as you said, that must have been very, hard to think, well, I'm giving my money each week, I hope I get it all back.
Yeah, there's always a little fear about how it would work. But the people that runs it was very effective and trustworthy.
Yeah.
And in no time over the years, we find that the partnership worked and helped many people to buy
an home. That's their way of getting their house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Partnership still happens at the moment.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yes. Because that's a good way of being able to save.
Yeah.
When you first came to Bristol, you said you stayed with your auntie first and then your brother. Did you find that it was easier to be renting a room where there were men than women, or?
It doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman if you were black. It was difficult.
Right. So as you said, you were facing racism wherever.
When I was at Campbell Street, number 11, on the opposite side is number 12. In the window of number 12, which is owned by a white person,
yes,
they would say, house to let, but no Irish, no dogs, and no blacks.
So that was literally opposite you?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, so the sign was right in your face there?
Yeah.
I see. So, as you said, that's what I'd heard, that these signs in the window were...
Yeah, but it was not only in Campbell Street that these signs were. In other streets in St. Paul's, you would find the same
sign.
Yeah.
So even in St. Paul's, you were faced with that sign, as you said.
Yeah.
So, with you being able to rent a room and with your brother being in another room, when did you feel that you were going to start looking maybe elsewhere for accommodation, or did you stay with that accommodation a long time?
I was in the accommodation for as long as I can remember.
Right, so you were there a good long time.
Yeah.
So it was secure for you to be in that accommodation. You didn't have to move.
Yeah.
Because I know that some people found that after a while they may have to move, or they may have wanted to move, because obviously a lot depended on getting a job in Bristol as well.
Yeah. I was able to get a job as a teenager at a clothing factory that calls Huggins's
in Bristol.
In Bristol, the factory was on Newfoundland Road.
Oh right, yes,
which
I know
is now
Newfoundland.
part of the M32.
Yes.
My wages, I can remember, was about 5 shillings a week.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So renting a room must have taken up quite a lot of your wages.
That's right.
Yes, yes. So in order to be able to save, because wages were low, rents could take quite a lot of your wage. Must have taken some time to save up your money.
Yes, you had to work and save for months.
Yes, I could imagine. I can see now why the partner hand scheme was a good one, because you paid in regularly.
Yeah.
But you had to have quite a lot of money to be able to spare to pay into the scheme.
It was something that you had to get used to, and you have to
make every week.
Give priority.
Yes. Yes.
If you were getting 5 shillings a week, you have to pay two and sixpence.
Right.
For your rent.
Rent. Yes. Yes.
And then you have to make sure that you have enough money to put in the partnership, so that if and when it's your turn, you get enough money where you can save to pay rent.
Yes, yes, I can understand, because given what you said about your wage, you had to pay your rent, you had to eat, you had to pay for electricity or gas, you had to make sure that you had enough to pay into any scheme.
Yeah.
That must have taken a lot of your wage.
£5, your wage would be like £5 a week.
Oh. So like you said, you were at this factory, this clothing factory, for some time, and then I understand you were also studying as well.
Yeah, I used to work in the daytime and go to classes
in the
evening at the youth club, what's now called the Mill Youth Centre.
Oh, it was actually the evening classes were at the youth centre, were they?
Yeah.
I see. Ah, right.
Paul Stevenson was the youth worker employed by the council to support young people.
Right. So as you said, you met him there, you were doing your studies, and from there, as you said,
Paul Stevenson set up the evening classes.
So that's how you were able to study in the evening classes.
Yeah.
I see. So you got to know him then. And from what I remember you telling me, you obviously wanted to apply, for a job with the bus company. And so from that point of view, that's where I was saying that you also faced racism in employment, not just in housing. Because you sparked the bus boycott.
Yeah, that's how the bus boycott was sparked.
So as you said, you were studying because you wanted to get a better job. And from that point of view, you were still then living in the room in Campbell Street.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. Can I ask you a little bit more than about how you can, because I know you later on set up the cricket club.
Yeah.
Because you were finding racism in sport.
Yeah.
Do you want to say a little bit about that before we return to housing?
When I was working at Huggins's, one of my work colleagues was a white chap that plays cricket.
Oh, I see.
and he invites me to his cricket club.
Oh, right.
Where they play. And as a young cricketer, I played for the team that this chap was a member of, and the cricket club was called St. Mark's Cricket Club.
Oh, right.
And where Bristol West Indies is at the moment, that was where I played my first game of cricket at the age of 16.
Ah, so you came to England with a love of cricket?
Yeah.
I see.
My father was a local cricketer in Jamaica.
Ah, so you were following in his footsteps. You enjoyed cricket, playing cricket?
Yeah.
Oh, so how did you come to set up the cricket team then?
At that time, there were quite a few young cricketers like myself who were playing for different white teams.
I see.
And eventually we met up together and decided that we could form a cricket club, a cricket team, and name it Bristol West Indies.
I see.
Because there were quite a few young men that plays cricket who would, when we set up the team, would be very strong enough to represent Bristol West Indies.
Right. So as you said, there were some good cricketers amongst you.
Yeah.
And Guy, did you find they were similar to you? Were they renting rooms? And
We were all in the same boat.
Ah, right.
We were all getting the same experience.
Yes, right.
But we all grew up together and work together and support one another.
And that was where your strength lay, because you were united in what you were wanting to do.
That's right.
To better yourselves. I can understand that. You've been an activist all your life in so many different ways. I'm coming to you now because I knew from what you told me before that you were not only involved in facing racism in employment, but facing racism in housing. I understand that you were one of the main community leaders that were involved in setting up United Housing Association, which was the first black housing association in Bristol.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a bit about that?
In the 80s, when I was going to university, I was asked to do a dissertation. And when I completed the dissertation, it was around about 15,000 words.
Oh wow.
And my tutor, because the dissertation was about black elderly being supported.
Right.
And my tutor, when he read the dissertation,
Yes.
he felt that this was so interesting that he should bring it to the notice of the council and community leaders about the findings. Because at that time we just started to get black people retiring.
After a lifetime of work.
And there was no provision made for them in the homes that they were living in.
No.
So it was necessary to form a housing association locally.
Right.
That was successful. So at the end of the day, we decided that we should get some form of support from housing association and to help us
set it up.
To set up. And I was a young man then. I brought to the attention of a Pastor Edmonds, who was the pastor for Bethel United
Oh, I
church
see.
in
So you
Church
knew him?
Road. Yeah.
Yeah. Was he in St Paul's?
Yes.
Right.
Pastor Edmund, he was very intelligent
Mm.
and understand the necessary needs for the elderly,
Yes.
and that the council wasn't providing any support
For
black
them.
elderly.
I see. So it's from your study into the needs of the elders, the
Yeah.
black elders, that led you to make some recommendations
Yeah.
about how their needs could be met.
Yeah.
I see. And one of the needs, of course, was housing that would meet their needs.
Yes, that's right.
I see.
Pastor Edmonds put together a group of his elders of the church,
Mm.
and they set up a committee
I see.
to support black elderly in getting house to live in when they retire.
Tired. I see. And when you made this recommendation, and your tutor obviously felt it was important for the council to know about
Yeah.
these needs, was the council supportive of you in your efforts to set this up?
Yes, the council started to take
Notice.
note. Yeah,
I see.
and felt it was necessary to support the group
Oh.
of black elders who were elderly people in the church.
Oh. Oh.
So Bethel United Church became the center for where the committee meets
Right.
in the church hall each week or each month when they
It was
were,
like the planning
Yeah.
committee for what you wanted to.
and that developed into the council taking note
I see.
and started to provide facilities for black elders.
Uh-huh.
And it went from there to the Housing Federation.
I see.
That certificate up there is
Yes.
what I received
Right.
from the Housing Federation for my contribution towards support housing.
I see. So in fact you got your OBE for all your work to do with housing
Yes.
for black elders.
Yes.
I see. They recognised that you
By this time, housing the committee becomes responsible for not just housing for black elders,
Mm.
but housing in general.
Oh, so
for
it
black
spread to other people.
Yeah,
So a lot more people benefited from what
That's
you
right.
started.
yeah.
Oh, that was good. And from what you said, that was obviously something very important, given that they were coming up for retirement. As you said, what you found was there was a gap in provision. They weren't going to be provided for.
There were practices of racism within the housing department. They made it difficult for black people to get housed.
Right.
And for black elderlies, they have no provision available for black elderlies.
So it was really
and that
difficult.
become a
Hot topic.
yeah.
So through your work, through your study, you were able to raise this as an important issue
Yes,
that the council needed to address.
yes.
I see.
The committee invite representative from the Housing Federation.
Federation. I see. To come and help you
Yeah.
set up the association.
And we were then become member of the Housing Federation. And the regional office was in Exeter.
Oh, was it? I
Yeah.
see. Uh-huh.
And that's where the chief executive of the regional office in Exeter came to visit us in Bristol and find out a lot
More about what you needed
Yeah,
to set up the housing association here in Bristol.
yeah.
I see. And
And
so,
the Housing Association got
Mm.
its name from Bethel United.
I was going to ask, where did the name come from?
Yeah,
I see.
Bethel United was a Pentecostal Church of God in Church Road, Bristol.
And this pastor, as you said, was a person that you worked with to be able to get this off the ground.
Yes.
I see. So where was the first housing then, Guy, of the United Housing Association?
We had our first apartment, black elderly apartment in Easton.
Oh, in Easton.
Yeah, which was very successful. And when the Housing Federation see that we were working hard enough to provide a facility, they supported us for national grants.
Ah, I see. So you were able to show them that you were perfectly capable of setting up something and being a success.
Managing it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. So that enabled you to get more funding because you were able to demonstrate that you could do this.
We also, at this point, we also got accommodation from established housing association.
All right. So that was another one.
They give us so many homes to manage.
Oh, right.
And Bethel United Housing Association did a very good job in establishing the needs for the house in black-led.
Yeah.
And in the end it becomes the first black-led housing association in the west of England.
Oh, and wider than Bristol.
Yeah.
As you said, in the whole of the west of England.
Yeah.
Because I guess the person from Exeter knew there wasn't anything like that anywhere in the west of England. Oh.
But the regional office took us and led us and support us to get national funding to build the housing association.
Right. Because there must have been a lot for you to learn about how you could do this.
Looking back now on what happens and how it happened, I don't know how I was able to do as much
I was going to say that.
as I did at the time.
Because it was all very new to you.
It was learning day by day and finding the opportunities as they exist.
Because, as you said, you'd made the recommendations as what was needed, but it was very different then to have to go about implementing the recommendation and learning all new things about how you set up a housing association.
Yeah, we got the support from the housing regional office.
Yes.
We have the support of the
They must have gained confidence in you, though, as a group.
Yes.
Enough to feel that they wanted to support you in what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Yes. But I can understand you saying, you look back and think, oh goodness, how did I manage to do that? Because that was a big achievement.
It was difficult, but it was doable.
Yeah. And it was well worth it because you saw the black elders feeling reassured that they had a house in their retirement.
Yes.
Which must have been a really good, satisfying
When I was doing the dissertation, I visited the homes for elderly people, and none of the houses had any provision to house.
Yeah, so their needs.
Yeah.
No, it's very difficult whether it was food or skincare, hair care.
At the end of the day, we developed a house in St. Way Barracks in Bristol.
Oh, yes.
And the home was called Mary C. Cole House.
Oh, after the nurse?
Yes.
Crimean nurse. Ah. So you were involved in setting that home up that you knew was going to meet the needs of black elders?
I was one of the leading members of the Housing Association managing committee.
Right.
I worked closely with the Bishop Edmonds, who was the bishop of the church.
Yes.
And when he retired, I became chairman of United Housing.
Ah, right, right.
I was chairman of United Housing for 13 years. When the bishop retired, I became chair.
Yes, you took on the chair.
Yeah. And as chair, you're supposed to be chair for 5 years.
Oh, right. But they was so impressed with you, they re-elected you.
Because they didn't have anyone elected to take over from me. I stayed on for 2 more terms.
As you said, longer than usual. Yes. So you worked at it for many years then, Guy?
Yeah.
Wow. And what an achievement to find all this housing for people. And then it became opened up to other people benefiting from it.
It becomes a housing association, not just for black people, but for whites as well.
As you said, that more people are able to benefit from what you started. Guy, you told me how you first started setting up your houses for black elders through United Housing. Do you know how many people you would have benefited with the association over the years?
I think it's fair to say thousands.
Wow.
Because I was aware that United had owned over 3,000 units.
Really?
So if you have 3,000 units, you're housing single bed, double beds.
So you had single and double?
Yeah.
Yes,
You talk about 3-bedroom homes, 4-bedroom homes,
and
really? 5-bedroom homes. So if you count how many homes you have per person.
Yes, that's a lot more people. Yes, you're right. If you have that number of units, when you think you've got that different number of people in each of them, I didn't realise that houses house so many people.
That's right.
I see. Well, that certainly is a lot of people. And is this housing association still going? Or has it formed into something else? You said it opened up to other people, not just black elders.
Apparently over the last few years, United has been run by anyone. United should be able to house 80% black.
I see. It's opened up wider now.
Even in employed people, United should have 80% black.
I see.
Employees.
Right.
But I think all that has changed.
Changed now, is it?
Because it's been taken over and amalgamated with other housing
associations over the years.
United is now called Brighter Places.
Oh, I see. So that's the one that's now operates in Bristol.
Yeah.
I see. And as you said, the staff profile has changed, but also it's opened up to other people that can also get one of the houses. But still, what you are telling me is a lot of black elders benefited from the housing association, which was your dream when you raised the issue in the first place through your dissertation.
Yeah.
You must be, well, I'm sure your tutor would be proud of you to have made that achievement.
Yeah, I wish I could find him.
He must have thought back and he thought, there, see what an achievement. My student not only made the recommendation, he saw it through and got something done that benefited black elders and then later more people that needed housing. But, so you were doing this as well as your day job of being a social worker?
Yeah.
But you were also involved in
education welfare. I left from social services to education.
I see.
When I became an education welfare officer after I came from university.
I see. So you were involved with the youngsters in terms of getting them to school or making sure they were going to school.
Yeah, that was the main duty.
Yeah, looking at the problems of
by an EWO.
Yes, yes. So from youth to black elders, with your social work hat, you had all age groups.
Yeah.
But I think that was good about the housing. The housing became open to more people that needed it, because that was where the need was.
Yeah.
But I can understand from a point of view of your dissertation how important it was that you did something about your recommendations with the support of your tutor.
Yeah.
In fact, you got an OBE for all the work you did in housing.
My contribution to
Yes, yes. Is that your OBE?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And who presented it to you?
The Queen.
The Queen? Oh my goodness.
The Queen.
Not everybody got presented it by the Queen, did they? Wonderful. And I thought you had your OBE because of the Bristol boycott, but now I realise it wasn't. It was for your housing.
In 2005 I received the OBE from the
205.
Queen.
Wonderful. Well, it's richly deserved. Congratulations with all that work. See all the people that benefited from your work with housing.
Thank you.
Guy, I want to thank you so much for the time you've given me in sharing your memories and experiences of all you've done for people to do with housing here in Bristol, but also to hear your personal experiences of where you started, renting a room, up to establishing United Housing for black elders and other people to benefit from, which is a marvellous record in terms of housing. So I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.